The last thing you say before you lose control is always the same. I'm fine. You say it with your jaw tight and your hands doing something they don't normally do. Touching your face, tapping the table, gripping a pen too hard. You are not fine. You are already losing, and the room knows it before you do. Here is what nobody told you about calm. It is not a personality. It is not something you either have or you don't. Calm is a weapon, forged in private, and the people who carry it into a crisis built it long before the crisis arrived. Machiavelli wrote that fortune governs half of what happens to you, but the other half, he said, is still yours to control. Panic is you handing fortune the whole account. Composure is you keeping your half. Watch the room the next time pressure hits. Watch who speaks first. Watch whose voice climbs an octave. Watch whose hands move too fast. Then watch the one person who does not move at all, who lets the silence stretch a full 10 seconds past comfortable, and notice how everyone else starts talking just to fill it. That person is not calmer than you by accident. That person trained for this exact moment while you were still asleep. By the end of this, you will understand the cold mechanics behind that stillness. Not breathing exercises, not affirmations, but the actual discipline ruthless strategists use to convert pressure into information instead of panic. And there is one move, one specific, almost unnatural move that the most dangerous people in any room make in the exact second everyone else accelerates. It will feel like losing when you first try it. It is not losing. We will get there. You are not ready for it yet. Phase 1. The cost of the crack. You think panic is invisible. It is not. It leaks. It leaks through your voice, through the speed of your blinking, through the extra half second before you answer a question you should have answered instantly. Everyone in that room is reading you, whether they mean to or not, and the moment they see the crack, the negotiation is already over. You just haven't been told the final number yet. Picture the meeting. The deal is 90% closed. Then someone across the table says something you did not expect. A lower number, a harder deadline, a threat dressed up as a question. Your chest tightens. Your voice comes out one register higher than you wanted. You start explaining instead of stating. You have just told everyone in that room exactly how much leverage you don't have. And you did it for free. Here's what the broke never see. And by broke, I don't mean your bank account. I mean broke in composure, broke in nerve. They think the loss happens at the moment of the bad decision. It doesn't. The loss happens seconds earlier, the moment your face changes. The decision is just the paperwork. This is not a soft skill. This is not a personality quirk you either have or don't. This is a tax, and you have been paying it your whole life without knowing the rate. Every time you raised your voice in a meeting, you didn't need to win with volume. Every time you answered too fast because silence felt unbearable. Every time you apologized for a pause instead of letting it sit. That was you, handing money and status and leverage to whoever in the room was watching closest. And someone is always watching closest. Think of the two kinds of people at a poker table. One loses a hand, exhales too loud, orders a drink he didn't want, and starts playing looser to chase the loss back. The other loses the exact same hand, says nothing, orders the same drink he always orders, and folds the next 3 hands.
Without emotion, both lost the same money. Only one of them lost the table's respect. And in every negotiation, every boardroom, every hard conversation you will ever have, the table's respect is worth more than the hand you just lost. You're not being tested on whether bad things happen to you. Bad things happen to everyone in that room. You are being tested on what your face does when they happen. And right now, your face is telling on you. Phase 2, the mask before the storm. Here's the part they never teach you. The calm you saw in that poker player, in that negotiator, in that CEO speaking slower while the stock price fell behind him. None of it was built in the moment. It was built weeks, months, years before the moment, in private, when nobody was watching and nothing was at stake. The Stoics had a name for this. Seneca called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of disasters. Before the crisis, you sit alone and you rehearse it. You imagine the deal falling apart. You imagine the accusation, the failure, the public embarrassment. You walk through it slowly, on purpose, until it stops feeling like a monster and starts feeling like a checklist. The people who seem fearless in front of you already lost the argument in their head 100 times, alone, where it couldn't hurt them. By the time it happens for real, it's the 101st rehearsal. That's not bravery. That's preparation dressed up as bravery. Machiavelli understood the other half of this. Everyone sees what you appear to be, he wrote. Few experience what you really are. You are allowed to feel the fear. You are not allowed to broadcast it. The mask is not dishonesty. It is architecture. It is the wall between what happens inside you and what the room is permitted to see. And that wall has to be built before the storm arrives, because you cannot build a wall while it's already raining. This is not about suppressing your emotions until they explode later in private. This is not about pretending nothing hurts. This is about timing, knowing exactly when a feeling is allowed to exist and when it has to wait. The amateur feels the fear and performs it live, in real time, for an audience that will use it against him. The strategist feels the exact same fear and performs nothing, because he already spent it in rehearsal, alone, where it was cheap. You have been waiting for the crisis to teach you how to handle the crisis. It won't. It never has. The mask gets built in the boring weeks before, in the quiet rehearsal nobody applauds for. Stay with me, because the next phase is where that mask stops being defense and starts being a weapon. Phase 3. Silence as leverage. Now watch how the game actually works. In every negotiation, there is a moment where one side names a number and the other side is expected to react immediately. Counter it, justify it, apologize for it. That expectation is a trap, and almost everyone walks into it. There is a negotiator who does something different. The offer comes in low, insultingly low, and instead of reacting, he says nothing. 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 11 seconds of silence, sitting in the room like a held breath. He is not thinking of what to say. He already knows. He is letting the silence do what his words can't, because silence makes people uncomfortable, and uncomfortable people talk. And the first person to talk after an offer like that is almost always the one who ends up negotiating against themselves. By the time he finally speaks, the other side has already raised their own number twice, out loud, unprompted. This is the part that separates the owners from the owned. It has nothing to do with who is smarter, or who prepared more, or who has the better argument. It has to do with who can tolerate discomfort longer.
Machiavelli said, "It is far safer to be feared than loved." And here is the money version of that line. It is far safer to be unreadable than agreeable. The room does not need to like you. The room needs to not know what you'll do next. That uncertainty is worth more than charm, more than credentials, more than being right. Silence is not passive. Silence is not weakness pretending to be patience. Silence is a move, the same as a number on a page, and the person who speaks first in a tense room has just made a trade. They traded information for relief. You cannot get that information back once you've given it away. You are so used to filling silence that you don't even notice you're doing it. The next time a pause stretches longer than feels natural, resist the urge that's screaming at you to fix it. Let it sit. Let it stretch. Let someone else break first. It will feel like losing. It is the opposite of losing. If you've felt what it costs to be the one who breaks the silence first, to fill the gap, to over-explain, to apologize for a number you never should have apologized for, comment, "I do not flinch." I want to see who's serious about fixing this before we go further, because what comes next is where the real leverage gets built. Phase 4, the discipline of doing less. But it gets worse before it gets better, because everything in you will fight this next part. When the pressure spikes, your body wants to act, not think. Act. Send the email, make the call, post the response, fire the employee, cut the position. Every cell in you is screaming that stillness equals danger, that doing nothing means losing control. And that is the exact lie that destroys people at the highest levels of pressure. Watch the soldier under fire, the one who doesn't run, doesn't freeze, doesn't spray bullets in panic. He reloads at the same pace he reloads on an empty range. Same hands, same rhythm. Nothing has changed for him except the stakes. And he trained precisely so that the stakes would not change his hands. Watch the CEO whose company is collapsing on live television. The one who wins that appearance is never the one who talks fastest or promises hardest. It's the one who slows down, who answers each question 1 full second later than feels natural, who looks like the only person in the building who hasn't lost the plot. This is not stalling. This is not indecision dressed up as wisdom. This is the recognition that the first move under pressure is almost never the correct move. It is the fastest move. And those are not the same thing. Reaction is a tax you pay to relieve your own discomfort. Response is an investment you make after the information settles. The amateur wants relief. The strategist wants the right answer, and he is willing to sit in the discomfort a little longer than everyone else in the room to get it. Most people quit right before this part, because doing less when everything screams to do more feels like the closest thing to death a comfortable life allows. That's exactly why so few people ever get good at it. Comfort is common. Discipline under pressure is rare. And rare is what gets paid. If you are done letting pressure make your decisions for you, if you are ready to be the person who answers 1 second later, on purpose, every time, subscribe before the next phase. What comes after this is not for the comfortable feed. It's for the ones who are done being owned by their own adrenaline. Phase 5. The room that remembers. Now you are ready for the move I promised you at the start.
Of this, remember it. The one specific, almost unnatural thing the most dangerous people in any room do in the exact second everyone else speeds up. Here it is, and it will disappoint you with how simple it sounds. They slow down. That's it. When the room accelerates, when voices rise, when everyone reaches for the fastest possible action to make the discomfort stop, the strategist does less, not more. He takes the 1 second everyone else refuses to take. That single second is where all the leverage in this entire video lives. It feels like losing because doing less looks like doing nothing, and nothing looks like weakness to anyone who has never been trained to see it correctly. But nothing, done on purpose, at the exact moment everyone else is panicking, is the loudest move in the room. It just doesn't make noise. Think about the rooms that actually decide your life, not the ones on camera, the real ones. The hospital waiting room where a family gets news that changes everything. And one person in that room doesn't fall apart. And everyone else in that family leans on them for the next 10 years because of what they did in that 1 hour. The boardroom where the numbers are collapsing and every executive is talking over each other except one. And that one becomes the next name people think of when something needs to be led. The final round of a negotiation that will determine your income for the next 5 years, where your hands are steady and the other side's are not. These are not different skills. They are the same skill, worn by different rooms. Composure does not spend itself. It compounds. Every time you don't crack, the room updates its file on you, quietly, permanently. And the next time pressure hits, they remember. They come to you first. They trust you with more, because you've already shown them what you do when it's ugly. That is not a soft asset. That is the highest yield asset a strategist owns. And unlike money, no one can tax it, inherit it, or steal it from you while you sleep. This is not about being cold for its own sake. This is not about becoming numb to the people around you. This is about knowing exactly which 1 second in the worst moment of your week decides what kind of person the room believes you are for the next 10 years. And taking that second on purpose, every single time it's offered to you. Picture that version of you, the one who doesn't flinch, not because nothing hurts anymore, but because nothing gets to see it hurt. Calm in the meeting where the numbers are wrong. Calm in the room where the news is bad. Calm while everyone around you is auctioning off their composure for a moment's relief. That version of you is not colder. That version of you is simply no longer for sale. There is a price for this, and no one hands you the receipt in advance. The price is isolation, the discomfort of rehearsing disasters alone, in silence, with no one clapping for the work. The price is patience in a world addicted to instant reaction. The price is killing the version of you that needs to explain, needs to defend, needs to be understood in the moment it's happening. That version of you doesn't get to come to the meeting anymore. The reactive version of you has to die today, not tomorrow, not after the next crisis proves you need to change. Today, in the quiet, before anything is even testing you. You bury it the same way the strategist built his mask, alone, in advance, on purpose. And here is what we haven't touched yet, because it's sharper than what belongs on a public feed.
how the coldest strategists don't just survive pressure, they manufacture it deliberately, in rooms they control, aimed at people who haven't done the work you just did. That is a different conversation, for a different day, and you are not fully ready for it. Not yet.
For now, this is enough. The next time the room accelerates, you will be the one who slows down. The next time silence stretches past comfortable, you will be the one who lets it stretch further. The room will remember you for it, long after it's forgotten everyone who talked first. Comment, "I do not flinch," if you are done handing your composure away for free. Subscribe if you're ready to be the one the room remembers. This channel exists for exactly one kind of person, the one still reading this sentence instead of scrolling away the second it got uncomfortable.